The next tip is using simpler collider shapes. So the physics calculation in general is a complex thing in computers and, well, in Unity as well. So you have to limit these calculations as much as possible. One of the things that you can do is to use simpler shapes as colliders in Unity. So let's see that in action. As you can see, I have a weird looking object here, and I used as their parent a collider 2D, which is a polygon collider, and I have created these points to connect the points, the edges of my shape together, and that has created, if I go to the points, paths, and if I look at the element 0, I have 27 points of colliders. This is a heavy thing. This is a heavy shape to render for Unity. So what I can do here is to actually remove this polygon collider, boom, and I will, depending on what I need, I will use either like a capsule collider maybe. So if I just decrease the size, the x and the on the x-axis and the y-axis, and I just use the offset here, so I can have a pretty simple collider shape like that. If I'm looking for something more precise, I can remove this capsule collider and I can create several circle colliders . If you take a look, I have 4 circle colliders that create this weird shape of mine. It's much simpler than the shape that I had before, and the performance is much better this way. Same thing goes for the 3D objects. If you have a weird looking 3D object or a 3D model and you want to create some colliders for it, I suggest you not to use mesh colliders because it will just create complex colliders, and instead create some game objects, child objects, and inside them create colliders with simple shapes like capsule colliders or sphere colliders, and create your shape and collider based on these simple models. The next tip is to use physics calculation in the fixed update. If you have a rigid body on your object and you want to move your object or just do some physics calculation on it, if you're changing the velocity or anything like that, anything related to the rigid body, always remember to do it in the fixed update method. That way you will increase performance and you have more control over the physics calculations and the changes that you do in the physics system.